I'm going to bring her forward. She's going to introduce herself, tell us about what she does. Mama told me the testimony that she's going to be sharing, and I need you all, if you were doing something before, put your phone down. Put your phone down. Don't be distracted. No, Mommy, it's not you I'm talking to. It's every other person. So I'm going to bring her forward now. Please come forward, Mama. I love what you're wearing for starters. She's going to introduce herself. Tell us more about what she does. Tell us more about what she does, and then we'll take it from there. Thank you so much. A round of applause, Global Church Summit. I don't have to climb this stage. No, she said, no, Mommy said you have to climb. I tried my best for you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. This is actually my first time in the Global Church Summit. I'm sorry, I'm a very shy person. And, I'm grateful for Adeoye because she always puts me on the spot. So, I'm a very shy person, so just bear with me, please. My name is Ololade Adeoye Dami. I'm the creative director and founder of Shop Ariza Brand Limited. Pastor Adeoye, I'm sorry, I'm not used to that. I'm used to just calling her Shewa. So please just permit me. Adeoye called me and said that I should come and exhibit. And then I'm also going to be sharing my transition story from Rareza clothing to having mass production factory and the Unusual Me brand. You might not understand why there are two brand names in the program. So I told her, I said, you can't give me 10 minutes to share my story. I can use the whole day to talk about it. Even though we are not where we want to be, but even when I had just 5,000 naira in my account, I already knew where I was going. So when anything happens, the way you process it, because you already know where you're going, it doesn't really bring you down as much as it would if you didn't know what the end game is. But something happened last year, May, precisely May 21, 2022. So I don't know how many of us have our businesses on Instagram. You would know that to run a business on Instagram is not beans. If you don't have money, and when I say money, I mean good money, to run adverts, you will just be doing a lot of try and error, and you just be dashing Uncle Mark the little money that you're making, and results, nothing to show for it. In 2020, during the lockdown, before the lockdown, I used to be just a regular bespoke designer. You bring your ashrebi, I sew for you, one or two or more share in the shop, one very small shop like that. I don't want to go into details of how I actually started to that 2020 because that's another story. Now, from 2020, the lockdown came up and I had to pack all my, well, not really all my, because I had only one industrial machine and one local machine. To the glory of God, I have almost 30 equipments, very standard equipments in my factory. And I packed my things home, and the next thing was, what next? Everybody has to sit at home and, just wait for what happens next. And, my sister here was saying something when she was talking about personal branding. In fact, everything she said about personal branding works in business too. Everything that she said. The same way you discover yourself to be able to brand yourself is the same way you have to know the value that your business is actually giving out to be able to market the business. So until that is understood, you cannot actually communicate the value of your business to the point of somebody wanting to drop their hard-earned money to patronize you. No matter how good you are, or no matter how wonderful your product is, you have to be able to sell it. And in selling it, you have to know the uniqueness of the product. So if you don't know all of these things, you've not really started business. Now, by 2020, I didn't know all of these things. I just knew the one we Google, how to market. When my husband would say, all those your 3 paragraphs that you are reading on Google. So those are the things that I knew, because I wasn't really a book person. I don't like reading. In 2020, I had to cultivate the habit of reading, because lockdown was not there. We're not doing anything. So I now started to read, and I discovered a lot of things. I started to learn a lot of things. Now, I asked God then, what next? What are we going to do? I can remember, I think I had just 23,000 naira in my account that lockdown period. And the only thing that was coming to mind was, start ready to wear. After all, the end game, the future is not what you are doing right now. That bespoke thing was just a means to the end. It wasn't what we are supposed to be doing. And I'm like, I have just 23,000 in my account. How can you start ready to wear with that? And I decided to give it a go. I bought my first set of fabrics, Ankara fabrics. I bought it from a woman in Ololade Estate. I can remember very well. And I used all the money to buy the fabrics. I got the fabrics, and I started to make some designs. After making the designs, I'm like, how do I sell it? I don't know anything about it. In fact, Instagram, I've tried. It's just, try and error. Nothing is coming out. So I went for Facebook. I started to do some little Facebook advertising. So my husband is a tech person. So I had access to laptop. And I'm somebody that, when I open something to learn about it, I grab it very quickly. So I started to read stuff on online advertising, how to run Facebook ads, like the real in-depth of it. And then, God was, when you don't do something with your own knowledge, and you are like, you want to open the laptop and you're saying, Holy Spirit, just help me. Help me to get to the right place, because I don't have time. I just want to learn this thing. I need money. So when I start, I always land on something that is very, very valid. That if I use that thing, it works. And where everybody was saying, we died there on Instagram, I was already making money on Facebook. If you notice, most vendors don't want to sell on Facebook. Because Facebook, they will be telling you, you have to do pay on delivery, blah, 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 blah. Meanwhile, Instagram, you pay before delivery. So most vendors want to be on Instagram. But I wasn't getting the hang of that Instagram thing. But as God will have it, I was, succeeding with Facebook. And from there, I was turning my 22,000 to 50,000 to 100,000, like that. And let me not go into the details of how so many other because, of course, when things are also going good, something will still happen that will make it look like, what's going on? Is it not God that said I should do this thing? So I don't want to go into that details so that I can get to the real detail. So now, I went on that journey, 2 good years, 2020 to 2022. I eventually met a lady on Instagram. I actually, messaged her first. She's also a designer. And I just tried my luck that day. I bought a magazine from the island. The magazine had the lady's picture, dressed in it. Her phone number was there. I don't know what made me to pick that number. And I called and I said, I'm sorry, Ma, I saw your number in one magazine. Please, I noticed you're on Instagram and you have like 30,000 followers. Can you tell me how you did it? And God so good, the woman was ready to put me through. The first thing she said was, your pictures are trash. You cannot sell on Instagram. Madam, go and buy good phone or call a professional photographer. And I said, I don't have money for a professional photographer. And but because, she, when you have, that's the thing about having mentors. So when you have mentors or you have somebody that has been there before, it makes your journey easier. You cannot say, I'll read books, I'll, hear 1 or 2 stories and I'm okay. No. Yes, you will get it, but what will take you 5 years, you can do it in 1 year if you are moving with a mentor. Because you will not make the same mistake that person has made. And to actually have that kind of mentor, because these days, even to get mentor now is problem. Everybody wants to be, keep their own knowledge to themselves. Nobody wants to share knowledge, because I don't want this mommy here to be finer than me. So I will not tell her where I got my clothes from. That's how most people think. I don't want this person to have more money than me. And that mentality has even made having mentors a bit difficult. But when you're working with God, when you allow the Holy Spirit to lead you, it will lead you to the right person. Today, I and that lady that taught me about Instagram, we are not really communicating as much like that. But that 1 year that I communicated with her, I learned a lot. And in 2 years, I was able to move my Instagram page from 700 followers to 16,000 followers, even without even with the little funds that I had. Some people would have gotten that 16,000 in 6 months because they have the money, because that's how Instagram works. But I didn't have the money then. So I sell. When I sell, I remove cost of materials, then I put the remaining back. And, slow and steady, they say wins the race. We finally won the race to 16,000. And in May 2022, what happened? My Instagram page collapsed. And between that May 21 to July, I can remember that it was like a very depressing moment. I remember my mom always calling my husband to leave work early so that I will not kill myself in the house, because I did not leave my room. Because I started to think of all the hard work, all the money, everything. And that point when that thing happened, why it was even more devastating for me was that, whenever I release a collection, I have to put like 100,000 to, push it and add to push it. That particular month, I released a collection, and where I was still procrastinating on funding my ad accounts, the collection was already sold out. So I thought to myself, I remember saying to myself, wow, my page has gotten to the point where I don't have to even run ads before people buy from me. I think now this is the time to enjoy all the money that I've been putting in. And then the page went down. And I'm like, what? So I'm supposed to start all over again. No. In fact, that time I remember saying Instagram is overrated. It's rubbish. Somebody else should go and bring another app. Mark is enjoying a monopoly of this internet stuff. I was saying all sorts because it was very devastating. The brand name then was Rareza Clothing. A lot of people have known that name even before I went online. Rareza Clothing. But there was one thing, during that period, I kept asking myself, what do I want to do now? I can't even do it. I can't start all over again. I can't do it. Then I'll now ask myself, Shebi, they said Rareza is going global. Pastor Shegun has told me. Pastor Taiwo has told me. Everybody keeps telling me. So why is this thing now happening to me? Am I the only one on Instagram? And then I'm seeing somebody that just started yesterday, already entering 30,000 followers, And I started to think of all these things. And God said something to me. Every disappointment is a blessing, right? You are too comfortable where you are. That was the message that I got. And I called my husband and I told him, I said, this is what I'm hearing. And my husband said, I've been telling you, but you've been closing your ears to it. You are too comfortable with this Instagram thing. People need you outside of Instagram, but you are not seeing the opportunity. Or you are seeing it, but because, you are making a lot of money just doing this, and you feel it's okay. And that was when I now started to sit down and ask God, okay, now show me. I'm ready to hear. Now show me this thing. I'm ready to listen to you. And then I started to see that we can actually be a factory, because people have been asking us, can you produce designs for us? I have a brand, but I need a factory. But I've been saying no. Meanwhile, this was the journey that we were supposed to be going, but we were going this way because we felt this was easier. To the glory of God, by the end of July, I got up from my house that day. I went to my factory, and I told my staffs, I said, I know these times have been rough. You guys have not been doing anything, but now we are about to do something different. Between that July 2022 and this July 2023, Mass Production Factory has just 1,700 followers, but the money that I made in 2 months of running that page, starting again and running that page, I never made it in the 2 years that I ran Rareza Clothing. I never made it. It was so obvious that what happened, if that thing had not happened, I won't even know that this is an opportunity. And to think that so many people are jackpotting now. In fact, most of my customers from Rareza then, most of them are no longer in Nigeria. And everybody now wants to go there and have something to do. So now everybody is looking for, can I be selling your products while I'm there? This is what people are asking there. And of course, everybody abroad loves Ankara. So it's like, see, the future is everybody will soon leave Nigeria. Anybody that has the opportunity to leave Nigeria now will run away. But when they get there, nobody wants to go and be doing menial work. Nobody wants to be doing nursing and cleaning up whatever they said they are cleaning up over there. So if they have an opportunity to run a business from here, they will do it. What we just need to do as a brand, what Shop Rareza needs to do as a brand is open their eyes to it. That's why when I'm running content, that is what forms the kind of content that I put out on the page. I communicate to you what you didn't know that you need, based on what God has told me that I'm supposed to be doing for you, based on the help that I'm supposed to render, based on the purpose that I have been created for. And that is why even as an online brand, you have to know the right content. Everybody is putting out the same content. For Unusual Me brand, for example, I'm wearing Unusual Me brand to the glory of God. Do you love my jacket? It's available for sale. Just look behind you. After the program, you can get one. And it's very affordable. So one thing that Unusual Me brand does now, you know, before this whole thing, when it was Rareza, I was just doing Ankara dresses. And then I came back online, and the whole world is doing Ankara dresses. And then I said, no, I'm not the type to do what everybody's doing. I have to look for something else. And what did God say? In fact, I had to change my name from Rareza because Instagram said it was a trademark infringement. So in changing my name, that was one process. I said, no, I have to do something nobody really does. I have to do something unusual, something unique. And that's how Unusual Me came to play. And then when we are creating our designs, everybody is doing dresses. I won't be doing dresses. People are not concentrating on sets, two-piece. I want to be a master known for two-piece in Nigeria on Instagram. So that is what I'm going to do. And that is exactly what we are doing now. So we've made our mark. We give you value, quality, affordability. You look as classy and rich as you want to on a budget. The reason why we are affordable, before I go, the reason why we are affordable is because I want you to buy a lot of clothes. I want you to buy a lot of clothes. So our prices are very affordable, so you can do that. So please don't buy one. Buy from 3 upward. Thank you.